right, welcome to another episode of the Bulldog Bark. I am yours truly, the Guru. With me, as always, got my partner in crime, BFC, Butler's Fighting Crew. And today, we got another special guest in the building. I like to call him Mr. 100% because the man has never missed a college shot in his career. Butler Bulldog, Ethan McComb. Ethan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Appreciate you guys for having me.
Absolutely. And as most of you probably know, Ethan's a recurring uh, guest on the show, so we love having him on and hearing about everything going on with the dog. So, man, just off the bat, obviously we know last year was your freshman year. We're going into your sophomore year now. Talk a little bit about maybe the differences from that freshman year off season to now going into this to the sophomore year off season, as far as maybe like just your familiarity with the program. Has that been easier just from the transition, you go into this season, and then any new roles that you felt like you've taken on now that you're kind of not the fresh guy in the block. You're kind of have a little more season to you.
Yeah, I would say definitely more comfortable with everything, just like the facilities and then everybody. Obviously, we have some new guys on the team, but just majority of the same coaching staff and everybody's really the same. So just it's been a lot more consistent, I would say. And then I would say like for a role, I'm like taking control, like leading the scout team. So I'll be a lot more like hands-on with that. Like last year, I would simulate certain players and all this, but I'm a lot more like detailed with it this year. So hopefully, hopefully that helps the guys get even more prepared. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. And you mentioned there's obviously with the portal these days, I feel like there's always guys coming in and out, right? We have Butler Nation know we lost a couple guys, but brought in some great talent as well. Colby King, Patrick McCaffrey, Jamie Kaiser, a bunch of guys came in. What's maybe your first impression of those guys? What can Butler Nation look forward to with some of these new guys on the squad?
Yeah, first off, Jamie. So Jamie's actually my roommate here in AV, so I've gotten really close with him already. He can shoot, he can defend really, really, really well. Great on ball defender. And he's really good. I don't know, like he accepts whatever role he's given and coach knows he can rely on him. So and he was really, really tough to beat in some shooting drills this summer. So we went head to head a few times there. But and then Patrick, I would say just his experience and just all around game fans will look forward to because he's a true three-level scorer. And as you guys could actually probably see in the video from Illinois, there's a ton of just him getting to his spot in the mid-range and raising up and shooting over people. So he's really good at that. And then Colby is just a true like combo guard that can, I mean, he brings it up, he initiates offense a lot, but he can also play off the ball. He's a great shooter and just more physicality at the guard spot, I think, is what our coaches wanted to kind of bring in. So, and he definitely brings that. So,
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, man. PFC, what you got?
Yeah, so obviously, like, you, Bowden, and Finn, I think the fans all know are, super close. How has that been kind of going into your second year together? How have you guys been able to, like, kind of help each other develop as players and just as, people on Butler's campus?
yeah, I think when Finley and Bowden went to Mexico to do the 3-on-3 tournament, I think that helped them a lot individually and with their like chemistry on the court together. So the couple weeks before that, before they left, I would after every practice or workout, I would get with them and we would practice the 3-on-3 basically before they went. And so I'd be on a team with those two, and we'd play against whoever wanted to play. And I mean, they've been destroying it in practice so far, and Bowden's gotten a lot stronger. I'm sure you guys have heard he's a lot stronger with the ball, and Finley is a lot more confident, shooting the ball really, really well. So they'll definitely be themselves what they were last year, and then some. So it'll be good for sure.
Nice. And then just kind of going into your game, I know obviously I saw you at one of the early dizzy runs where you're playing, but then you got a chance to get on the court. I think you had like what 35 in that.
Something,
How,
something.
how was that this summer? Just like all you guys, I don't know, like, having fun playing with pros and other college guys.
Yeah, it was awesome. Kyle Guy, so he runs that the Dizzy Runs thing, as you guys know. He also he would bring some guys to come play against us on the court at Hinkle, um, just in like a up and down scrimmage type setting like that. But it definitely helps all of us like working on our games while also developing that chemistry with the newer guys. Um, but yeah, so playing in the dizzy runs was a lot of fun, getting shots up and stuff, running around playing. It's always great. So
Yeah, and then kind of building off something you said, you were talking about the Illinois scrimmage earlier, and I won't dive in too much. I know it's a private scrimmage. I can't get all the details out of you, obviously. But, just talked about that experience because I think that was kind of a cool thing that Butler did this year. I don't believe you guys did any private scrimmages last year that I'm at least aware of, unless it was so private that we didn't know
right.
about it. But,
No.
it was really cool to kind of see you guys down in Champaign and playing against Illinois. And I know we talked offline a little bit and you just said it was a really cool experience. So talk to us a little bit about that, just what it entailed and kind of the experience you guys got from that.
Yeah, so I think the main thing that our staff wanted to get out of it, which was what we did. Coach Motto will probably talk about it to the media a lot, but he's been saying how it was great for us to get out there and play a team like that in October, as opposed to last year. We didn't really like our first real like test like that was going on the road to Michigan State, and we kind of got like just kind of blitzed a little bit, I guess you could say. But Coach Miles has been talking about how we were a completely different team when after that game at Michigan State to when we went down to Florida and played FAU and Penn State and Boise State. So he said just getting that under our belt now would be a lot more beneficial for us, which I definitely agree with. And I would say it did just that. So it was good playing against guys like that because they should be a great team. I heard they're top two or three in the preseason Big Ten poll. So definitely great competition.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And then kind of going back to last year a little bit, obviously, speaking of like coming out, you guys came out of the gate hot last year, right? We know that. And then towards the end, we obviously the dogs ran to a little bit of a skid towards the end, which it happens. But what's kind of the mentality this year? Obviously there's some new guys in, but what's kind of your guys' mentality or goal? We lost some guys, but we also bring back a pretty good core of our team, right? Pierre's back, Daw's back, bunch of the guys are back. What's kind of your guys? I think obviously the goal is to win it all, but what are kind of maybe the mentality coming in this year? Trying to make sure that kind of skid towards the end of the year doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I would just say finish the job. Like you said, last year we kind of had that little skid at the end, but we just want to get to the same kind of position we were in last year, but this time capitalize and finish all the way through the Big East schedule because it gets really tough, as you guys can imagine, playing just top tier teams every single night and stuff. But no, there's no excuses. So we just want to finish and get to the Big East tournament, win a few games, and that way we're in great position come Selection Sunday. We all want to get to the tournament. I know Patrick's been to the tournament multiple times. I think Pierre went to the tournament with Michigan State, but I think that might be it. So I think the rest of us, we all just want to experience it and go win some games, get to the second weekend, and yeah, just get Butler back to thriving in March Madness.
Absolutely, man. BFC.
Yeah, so I think we talked to Pat about this, and he had like an interesting perspective on the early season matchups. Like, all these guys got offers to play college basketball, so you can't overlook anybody. But kind of from your perspective, what preseason or pre-conference game are you looking forward to the most?
I think the easy answer would be at Houston, just because I mean that's like the big one when you just first glance of our schedule, it's like, wow, got Houston on the road. It's a great opportunity for us. And with the whole quad one, two, three, and four, the deal now with the net rankings and all that, we have a lot of games that we can put ourselves in great position. Not so much give ourselves room for error down the road, but if we win a couple of those games early on, it really, really gives us kind of a boost to begin with, like the Wisconsin game at Gamebridge, and even like SMU at home and games like that. Like we gotta win those games. We have to win convincingly. So I think just like you said, not taking anyone lightly is super important.
Yeah, I think that that Wisconsin game stands out to me. I know that you didn't get a chance to play in the Crossroads because they had ended that before you got on campus, but that's obviously one of my favorite events. Being an Indiana kid, was it like how excited are you to kind of play in an event like that where it's Indiana centric basketball with Purdue also playing there?
Yeah, very excited. I can remember watching all those Crossroads Classic games when I was little, watching Butler beat IU
Yes.
several times. Yep, Guru.
Yeah.
You know, Butler beating IU is always great, especially if you grow up just a Butler fan, because every kid in Indiana either likes IU or Purdue, not Butler. But for the people who grew up just loving Butler, it's a huge deal. And then just personally going to play at Gainbridge, I've never gotten to play there. Obviously, been in the building several times for Pacer games and whatnot, but being on the court and being able to be a part of the actual game is going to be really special.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And then just kind of reflecting on a couple things from last year. Maybe so far in your college career, what's been your favorite moment up to this point? Kind of just whether it's a game or just something off the court, I don't care what it is. But what's been your favorite moment so far as a Butler Bulldog?
On the court,
Besides doing interviews with us, obviously. I mean,
yeah. On the court, I would say, gosh, I can't pick just one game, but there's a handful of games last year when it was like you could really feel like the energy in Hinkle, like Texas Tech comes to mind.
yeah,
And I would say Texas Tech and Villanova, those two home games, we ended up winning in overtime. I mean, it was electric and just super loud and indescribable, really, the energy in the building. And I'll definitely remember those moments forever. But just developing the friendship with Finley and Bowden, especially, and now Jamie, we're all roommates, and just carrying on that friendship throughout college is really, really important and special to me too.
what about that? What about that first three that you actually drained? That wasn't on the top of the list there.
No, I mean, if you ask personal moment, I would say that because I always wanted to score at Hinkle just growing up, going to all the games. But you know, uh, nothing beats how loud it got when we beat Texas Tech and Villanova.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, absolutely, man. And like I said earlier in the podcast, as many of you know, and I probably brag about it too much, I'm gonna jinx you, man. I'm gonna jinx you because I say it all the time. I call him Mr. 100%. Dude doesn't miss. Because then we had the scrimmage the other day, or the other week, which was awesome. Always fun to do that. By the way, they should always do it on homecoming. It's such a
yeah,
perfect setup because, or not homecoming. I'm sorry, our football game because it's you got people that are tailgating coming into the Hinkle, and then there's a pretty good crowd there, and then they can go watch the football game or whatever. But you drain one from the corner there too. I was like, God damn, this guy does not miss. He seriously doesn't miss. I've never seen you. So my next question is going to be, and we've asked this before: if you and Diebler went 1-on-1, who's going to win in a 3-point contest?
in
Actually,
a,
we could add McCaffrey to it now too.
in a 3-point contest, I Diebler would get me. Diebler's he doesn't miss at
Yeah,
all. I'm sure you've heard from the other guys, but he doesn't miss at all. So Diebler might get me. I might have a shot at getting Connor, but he can also really shoot it. So, but yeah, Diebler's on another level.
that's yeah. What just go talking about obviously Greg Oden left now. Connor McCaffrey's coming in. I think we all know the Caitlin Clark ties there and everything like that. Have you noticed any influx as far as like media attention or anything like that, or has there been any sort of differences in the program with a little more spotlight on it from that perspective, or is it pretty much same old?
Same old, I'd say. Not so much with the media attention, at least yet, because there's not very many cameras that get into our practices, at least this point of the season. But Kaylin's been at practice a couple times, and just having her in the building is definitely cool, because she's so popular right now, and not just Indiana, but really all over the place. So it's definitely been really cool. And Connor's been really down to earth guy, and he cares about all of us. So he's been a great coach so far, and I've enjoyed having him.
I was about you just went right into what do you think Connor kind of adds to the team, maybe a little bit that maybe we didn't have before. Obviously, Greg Oden brought up great things. I'm not saying that at all, but what are maybe some new things that Connor brings to the table?
Yeah, Connor, I would just say what stands out most about him is his knowledge of the game. Not even just in one specific area, but just all around. As you can imagine, his dad coaching at Iowa for so long, and him getting the experience with the Pacers, he really knows what he's talking about, and he's just one of the smarter basketball minds I've been around. So, yeah, I think he'll really help out with game planning, scheming, all that kind of thing. So.
Awesome. DFC?
Yeah, so I think you obviously have a cool perspective just as a lifelong, Butler fan. One thing that I've been pretty much begging for is for, the team to get a little more swag and, maybe mix it up with the jerseys. If you guys could wear one retro jersey, which one would you pick?
I gotta just go with the Road Blacks. I wish we'd bring those back. I love the road blacks. I think they look good on TV. Um, Now I am a big fan of the grays that we got last year, though. Those are nice. Because I remember they had grays. I don't know what year that would have been, 17 maybe. I can remember like Tyler Weidman's teams having the gray jerseys, but
Yeah.
I really liked our grays. But yeah, the road blacks were sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like those. I like the gothic text, the
Yeah,
little
yes. Yeah, I've seen those on Twitter. Yeah, those are nice too.
yeah, that's something I'm campaigning for.
Who if you could say who is the swaggiest person on the team, who is it?
Swaggiest on the team.
Yeah, who I don't know why I looked at the pictures of Colby and I was like, I feel like this dude's got swag, but I don't know. I don't know.
Um, I would say they're Colby or honestly Ryder.
Ryder
Okay.
won
Actually, Ryder, yes.
Ryder
Yeah,
won the media day kicks on court
yeah.
champion.
Ryder's got quite the shoe collection, and he, yeah, what they say, drip. He's got all the drip.
Actually, speaking of Ryder, obviously, you know, we have two new preferred walk-ons with him and Connor O'Gwyn. Have you kind of taken them under your wing a little bit as far because we all, you were the preferred walk-on last year. What the experience is like being in that position. Have you kind of been a little bit of a mentor to them now that they're freshmen in the same boat?
Yeah, definitely. I really like both of them. I think they both work really hard, and I told them the first week they got here, both of them, I gave them my number, and just like the whole "you need anything, let me know" type of thing. But yeah, they've been great on scout team so far, and just listening to coaches, and they work really hard in the weight room, and they're in great shape and all that. So they're both everything you'd want a walk on to be, and they're just great kids too. So. Yeah, definitely an upgrade to the program to have them, and yeah, they've been great so far.
That's awesome, man. BSC, you got anything else, man?
No, I'm tapped out.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ethan, man, we appreciate you hopping on. It's always fun talking to you, man, and hearing a little bit about the program. Super excited for the season, man. Can't wait to start up. Super excited for this team. Really appreciate you hopping on and always go dogs, man.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. Thanks again.